Everyone, and welcome to another episode of the BG Show. I'm here to talk about I Know What You Did Last Summer, the reboot slash remake slash sequel of the original movie. And let's just get right into it. I have a different opinion than most people that I've seen online. I saw this movie a couple weeks ago. Most people are pretty negative about it, calling it disrespectful. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I'm not sure what people were expecting. Spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie, I think if you're watching this video, you've probably at least somewhat of a fan of the franchise and have seen this movie. So I will be spoiling the movie. Um, I guess let's start, backwards and start with who the two killers are. And I gotta say, maybe I'm just washed. Maybe I've just kind of lost my skill for this thing. But I absolutely had no idea who the killers were in this movie. I was wrong so many times. Literally at least 5 times I was wrong about who the killers was or were. The killers ended up being Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character and Stevie, a new character who's kind of like his goddaughter. She works for him. She's the daughter of like one of his deceased friends who he takes care of. And we get a new group of friends in this movie, very reminiscent of the original movie. Uh, Chase Sui Wonders, I think, is the main girl's name, who I know from the studio. She's very good on the studio. It took a while to recognize her because this is like a very different role. And then I think Madison Klein is the name of the other main actress, who I also thought was good. Kind of, she was playing the Sarah Michelle Gellar role, and Chase Sui Wonders was playing the Jennifer Love Hewitt role. And then they also had a couple of guys similar to Freddie Prinze Jr. and Ryan Phillippe from the other movie. Um, and so this movie, very similar to the first, is about rich kids. They go back, they have like this bridal shower or something for the wedding, and then they see Stevie, their old friend, who she, I guess, didn't go to college when they did. Her life kind of fell apart. So they kind of set it up for her to have an angle, but it's almost a little bit too obvious for it to be her. And also, a lot of these kills in the movie kind of take some level of physicality, so um, you don't really believe that it would be her. But as the movie, I guess first of all, let's start with the impetus of the movie. Is that in the original movie they hit the fisherman head on, so it's legitimately manslaughter, or at least a potential charge for manslaughter. In this movie, the guy drives off a cliff and swerves them. They didn't do anything illegal, so the I guess the one bad thing for me is that them running away from the crime, actually they created a crime by indulging in this movie instead of just going to the police. Especially as rich kids, they never would have gotten in trouble. No way. Um, but it ended up being that the person who kind of drove off the cliff was a friend of Stevie, this killer, from her church, and this leads to a whole kind of plot around the church. And there was a time in the movie when I'm like, oh, okay, it's the pastor at the church or someone at the church, and that was just a total red herring. And I really liked that. I liked how much they kind of tricked us and weaved us all the way in. I really didn't know. I wasn't sure who the killer was. Like I said, I was wrong a bunch of times. When people are saying it's disrespectful to the original, first of all, I don't know what people are talking about. No, look, I was really young when this movie came out, so I'm not gonna say I remember. I was born in '93. I think this movie came out in '96, so I probably saw it for the first time. I watched these movies pretty young. I don't know. I was aware of this movie, let's say at like 7 or 8, so like 2000, 2001. So I don't remember the reception of this movie. I know it was a big deal when it came out in the late '90s, but to act like I Know What You Did Last Summer is some sort of like huge phenomenon or like some huge piece of American cinema that needs to be protected, specifically the Freddie Prinze Jr. character, whose name I'm forgetting for some reason, is ridiculous. I don't. I do think it was a little bit ridiculous in this movie, but this movie, I understand saying it's not as good as the first one, but to say that the first one was like leaps and bounds better, I just think it's nostalgia. I really don't think it is. I think this movie was actually pretty well made. Um, it was tropey, but in good ways. The kills, um, I mean, I don't know what people expect. I think the movie was pretty gory. Was pretty was pretty gruesome at times, and the turn. I'm trying to remember when we figure out. I don't know. I'm trying to remember the turn when we figure out Jennifer Love Hewitt's character basically figures it out, and when she comes rushing, you think it's over because Stevie dies on the boat. Um, but Jennifer Love Hewitt's he's a bar owner now, so Jennifer Love Hewitt character comes and they get into a whole thing, but eventually they kill him. And I guess one thing that sticks out of the movie is there's one scene in particular when they're on the boat and they find the hook. Madison Klein's character finds the hook, and she's running around on the boat with the hook in her hand. And I'm like, just throw it overboard. Throw the hook into the ocean, and then no one can hurt each other. It would just be bare hands. And she's running around. Then eventually the killer gets the hook again. I'm like, that really pissed me off. I also think the last scene in this movie was really bad. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just the two main characters talking on the beach, and the dialogue is awful. So that's very bizarre. And then they talk about how, again, I don't even normally get mad at this thing or like sound like one of these red pill online people, but like one of the last lines of the movie is like how the whole movie could be avoided if men went to therapy, which makes no sense because Freddie Prinze Jr. Because Stevie literally is the main driving force of this movie. The girl character was the killer and like convinces Freddie Prinze Jr. to do it. So it's very, very bizarre. I guess that statement's half true for him, but that scene was a very weird way to end the movie. Overall, if you're a fan of the original, I think this movie's worth seeing. I like slasher movies, so I'm not too hard on them. I don't know what people expected with this movie, but yeah, I guess some people weren't too happy with him. Ended up being one of the killers. I wasn't expecting it, but I thought it was a pretty good twist. And like I said, they kept it. I was wrong a bunch of times, which I like in these movies. I thought the mystery element of who the killer was really cool. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for watching. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.